welcome back to Squire Squad. It's been a little bit. We missed the last session because people were under the weather. And that almost happened again today, but we pushed through and we're here because, we want to play this game and it's getting towards the end. We'll talk about the game in a little bit. Let's get to the channel stuff first. So you just watched our intro video, which tells you a lot about what we do here on the channel. Lots of tabletop role-playing games almost every night of the week. And sometimes we do random video game streams as we feel like them. The best way to know when we are doing things is to follow us on the various social media and join our Discord so that you get notified when we are doing things. One scheduling note is that there won't be an Elegance and Vigilance game this Thursday. So it's quiet until Saturday, where we should have our normal doubleheader of the Queer Chronicles of the Strixhaven Quintet, and in the morning and in the afternoon, the Saturday night's Ward 47 game. But that just means you have more time to get caught up on our shows, which you can do on our YouTube channel, where we put everything, 99% of what we've done up on the internet. So if you're behind on any of our shows, you can catch up there. Or if you want to see any of those random video game shenanigans, those go up on the YouTube as well. But yeah, otherwise, if you're here live on Twitch, our schedule is beneath our faces. Otherwise, it's pinned on our social medias. I think that does it for channel intro stuff. So let's go around and say, who you are, what you do on the internet, and what you do in this game tonight. I believe we start with, oh God, I have the stream paused, so I don't see it. Okay, we start with David.
All right. Yeah, I'm David. You can find me on the internets on here on Tuesday nights, where tonight I am playing Kevin, aka Paragon, the Legacy Playbook.
Hello everybody, I'm LB. I'll be playing Subrina. She is an outsider, a shape-shifting alien. Woo.
Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. Tonight I'm playing as Chloe, who is the Doomed Playbook.
And I'm Alex Omajit, some guy on the internet, and I am the GM, so I am everyone who is not these three. So, last we left our heroes, they were getting ready for and going to homecoming. They were getting ready at Anna Jones's mansion, who is the, one of the current popular girls in the senior class, and had asked Kevin to be her date, and he agreed. All their friends are there and getting to know each other and get ready too. Subrina keeps a close eye on Anna and finds that Anna is also returning some of her watchfulness. But for the most part, they are, getting ready for the dance. Let's see. There was, of course, a spiked punch bowl at the preparations, so I don't think anyone here partook, especially because we know that Subrina and alcohol do not get along. But they spent some time talking with Eve, who was sort of going in spirit with their friend Roz, and because the theme of homecoming is masquerades and capers, everyone's dressed up as various heroes, and Eve is dressed up as Fragment, as a little bit tongue-in-cheek there. Let's see. Soon enough, the limos arrive to take everyone to the school, which has been decked out with all sorts of decorations. As everyone makes their way to the gym where the dance will actually be held, they go through a hallway that's got, some art projects up that depict the city skyline and have various heroes and villains around, including our very own Squires. And as they get closer, there are various screens that show clips of superheroes throughout the city's history. And once again, we find some of our squires being featured ever so briefly. Inside, everyone checks in, and as people, start mingling and do a little bit of dancing, our heroes find out about the homecoming court contest, which has among the finalists, we have Anna and Kevin and Subrina, given that her campaign was moderately successful. There are a few others as well, but we don't really care about them, right? But there will be, over the course of the evening, various games and challenges to see who is going to be dubbed the homecoming royalty. Everyone has an app that they are encouraged to download so that they can do the voting after each round. As the evening goes on, though, Chloe starts finding out that Eve, Anna, and Yosef are maybe up to something. She overhears Anna asking the others if they're ready for the plan, which will take place during the third homecoming court activity. And Chloe decides it's time to stick to Eve like glue, given that the two of them are, technically here without a date. Wouldn't be too out of the ordinary for them to be hanging out. As she is keeping an eye on things, she notices that one of the screens in the gym itself, which, for the most part is showing various colored lights and stuff to go along with the music, one of those screens glitches out every so often. There's some slow dancing, some fast dancing in the different activities. Kevin ends up using his powers of X-ray vision to cheat a little bit and win the second activity. But as the attention is called to order for the third game, Yosef makes his way over to Eve and Chloe and lets them know that he's going to step outside and take the professor to do his business. Chloe is torn on who to keep an eye on and decides to stay in the gym near Eve, but uses her powers to spy on Yosef, who we see makes his way outside without adult supervision, as a teacher is distracted by some other rowdy teenagers getting up to no good. A little hanky-panky maybe. But Yosef heads outside around the school building and reveals near a tree a tunnel that is at some point been dug out that leads back under the school. However, as Chloe is keeping an eye on that, Eve grabs her attention and points out that most of the screens in the gym are now glitching out. Once they realize that, all the lights cut out, and a familiar villainous robotic voice begins speaking to the crowd, and appearing on the screens is this digital face of Screenshot. He gives some monologue about how that you all are children playing pretend at being heroes and being pawns in a struggle that they do not comprehend. But he is a benevolent god and will release them from that struggle. And it's at that point that the doors to the gym all slam shut and lock, and something begins to come out of the air vents. So, that is where we find ourselves as people begin to panic, understandably. Some people immediately go for the doors and the fire exits and find that they are also sealed in some capacity. And It's unclear what's coming out of the vents yet, but that's never a good thing, right? So, we have, let's say, a little bit of time before anything is really going to happen, or y'all have essentially a round to try and figure out what your game plan is. So Kevin and Subrina, you and Anna and the other homecoming court contestants are up on stage. You were at these like podiums getting ready to, play the game up there. Chloe, you and Eve are in a corner of the gym by some of the screens. And as far as you know, Yosef is outside somewhere doing who knows what. Let's see. Things I will remind you about Screenshot is that he seemed to be able to, or based on your encounter with him previously in the public library, once he got you within sight of a screen or a camera, he was able to like pull your consciousness into a digital realm. Your bodies were still there in the real world, but he was able to pull you in into a virtual reality.
Do you specifically have to look at the screen for that to happen?
Unclear. I mean, based on what you remember, yes, you all were looking at these screens when that happened.
Do we still have telepathic link right now?
No, the telepathy is gone with Kevin's human form.
Subrina looks at Kevin and she like does a nudge to the door, and she's going to use her powers of shadow control to block out the lights on the stage so we can like get in our outfits.
All right, so all the lights go out. You can't see the stage anymore.
That's what I want to do. Yes.
So one thing that I will say about how I'm envisioning this encounter is like, y'all are gonna have to put in some effort to hide that you are using your powers, that you have vanished, and that suddenly, these squires are here in their stead. So something to keep in mind, unless you all decide like this is too important, we're just gonna throw our identities to the wind.
We've been in here a while. Is there any part of the gym that's like not covered in screens? Like, is there behind the stage?
Yeah. So, I was just trying to think how much this would be like a theater stage setup, and no, this is primarily a gym. So there's like one of those like rental stages that they've brought in to like elevate you all a little bit. There is you see that there's like a corner of the gym that is like sectioned off with curtains on stands that you imagine that's where they brought like the skee ball cornhole thing that they had before, and like other storage stuff is back there. So there is an area over there that is as far as you can tell, hidden from the screens. Who's to say who's back there or not already, but you're confident that's there. There's also, there are enough bodies in here that you could hide from the screens. They are mostly along one wall. We'll say if the stage is at north, the screens are on the west wall behind the refreshments. The east side is where some of the bleachers are out for seating. The south side is where kind of the entrance is. There's the dance floor in the middle, and then kind of like standing tables in a U shape around, like scattered around on the west, east, and south sides.
Okay. Luckily, my date isn't here to look for me.
Yeah. All right.
So do I need to roll something to hide my powers?
I think this will just be this will be how good your freak roll is. More so as like how you can like maybe make it seem like, oh, the stage lights are cutting out as well. Oh, what's happening there?
Okay, so roll freak.
Yes, please.
Okie dokie.
Oh dear.
Oh my god!
Nothing we can do about that.
Yeah.
Wow!
About as bad as it gets.
Yeah, holy shit. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Do I mark a condition for that?
No, you get potential.
Oh, right. God, I haven't failed like that in a long time.
Yeah, so for the folks at home, that was
good
a
news.
3,
I leveled up.
which you can take your advancement right away.
Uh-huh.
But that's gonna be a hard fail, which I think. Yes, the darkness goes up, but it is obviously an unnatural darkness, like rather than just like obscuring and like making it seem like the lights fail. It's just like, oh, it's almost like someone cast a darkness spell on the stage.
I'm okay as a player if it is obvious that I did it, because that's a really bad fail.
Yeah. Good to know. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot going on. You don't have time to clock everyone reacting to it right now. Kevin, you know that like, oh, Subrina is in like full panic mode, and like you know that this is her doing it. And with your vision powers, you're able to see through the darkness well enough, but you imagine everyone else on stage, aside from the two of you, is like as if they had suddenly lost their sense of sight. That's the kind of darkness it is.
All right. I kind of have, I don't know. So my thought was kind of to see if we could get people to maybe like throw shit at the screens and start trying to funnel people away from them to a door, and we could see if we could force it open like in a fake way. But also at the same time, it's now full on darkness. Like people can't see us up here. Yeah.
Correct.
All right. Well, I don't want to not take advantage of that. So what I might do is I might roll one of my moves. I don't want to change into my costume yet or anything because I don't want to like suspiciously be gone. Oh, I don't have to roll. I just mark a condition and then I'm going to have to roll to use it. So I want to use a mind of their own to give myself new ability. It's like not of my stated ones. And basically I want a cold breath and I want to ice over the vents so the gas stops.
Okay.
I mean, it'll obviously be that cold is coming from this darkness that's up here, but I just want to like where people can't see it's me.
Yeah. I'm just double checking this to see if, facing an obstacle or threat that your powers would not be able to deal with, mark a condition to gain brand new abilities adapted to the situation. You lose these new powers once the danger is gone. So I think the way that I'm interpreting that, and we can, haggle over this, is like you now have ice breath as part of your power set, but you will still need to like roll plus freak in order to use it effectively.
That was my thinking as well. But yeah,
cool.
I was thinking at first I had to roll to get the powers, but I don't. I have to still roll to use them. Okay. Well, let's see. I'll go with my standard, which is angry. I always find myself being angry. All right. And then, so plus freak to try and ice over these vents.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yes, please.
An 8.
Okay. So that's a mixed success, which either you can take or y'all have, I believe it's currently 4 team in the pool. So if both Subrina and Chloe do something to help out, it could become a 10. Or you can just take the mixed success and save the team for...
I could help out in a destructive manner and give you a plus 10 all on my own.
Right. Well, plus 2.
Well, yeah. I mean,
get it to a 10.
Yeah. Because
plus 10, that would be so broken.
because of my troublemaker ability.
All right.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll spend a team from the pool, pick up a chair, and throw it into a screen to distract people, so that nobody sees that it's him icing over the vents. Like Chloe just like goes like full on feral, like grabs a chair and just says, "Don't look at the screens."
All right. Yeah. So you yeet a chair at a screen. It yeah, I mean it cracks a bit. It doesn't like completely shatter, but it does that thing where it's like that screen is now the fractured, and that the screenshot face there is not coming through as clearly. But yeah, so that causes a loud noise amongst everything else that is going on, and Kevin, you take advantage of this to shoot some ice breath at we'll say the vents nearest you. So you're not going to be able to get all of them, but you get, we'll say, about half of the vents in the gym with this.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Yeah, so then that takes us to Chloe. Do you have something you are like doing as an action?
Well, I can think of ways to help with her powers. I can't think of ways to do it without being seen. Does anybody have any suggestions player-wise on what to do there?
Did you block all of the vents?
He only got
only
like
about half of them.
All right. I would suggest calling upon plants to block off the rest of them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to do that without being seen.
Did they come from you?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
For the most part, yes, unless there's plants around that I can how do you say there are plants, there are flowers. In fact, there are plants that I made.
You could duck under a table.
I could.
Just try to hide.
Oh yeah, didn't you make like a bunch of the corsages or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
What if those just started growing to like block off
Yeah.
vents?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of dogwood blooms. Like, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna like use my dogwood blooms to like jump off of people's corsages and block off the vents.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
what I'm gonna try to do anyway.
Sure. This sounds like it's going to be an Unleash Your Powers roll.
Okay. Oh yeah, I have to really mean it. Do it. That's a miss.
So y'all could
How
spend another
bad?
team to bump that up to mixed success.
Yeah, it's only a 6. With some help, we could get it there.
Yeah, I'll definitely help. There's one on me, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think, well,
There's one on me.
Subrina probably
and
has one. I'm just trying to think. I think maybe Kevin has one
a couple
from Anna,
people
so
on
not
the stage have them, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Sabrina
Yeah,
could like
definitely.
feel it pulling off of her, kind of like, oh shit, this is what's happening, and like just yank hers, and like the people like in the darkness, like just yanking them off of people, like ah.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Yeah, so that will bring you up to a mixed success. And yeah, with that, you're able to get like, suddenly like everyone notices that all these like corsages and boutonnieres are like suddenly flooding towards one of the vents and like clogging them up. And so we'll say at this point, you guys have covered up 75% of the vents in the gym. But the one that is still most open is the one kind of by the south where the main entrances are, and which is where most of the people are like congregated.
Okay.
But the other parts of the gym are probably mostly fine from whatever is coming out of the vents. You all still don't exactly know.
I'm trying to remember. Was there any kind of like back exits or anything away
Yeah,
from?
there are some fire exits you see people trying to go out of, but those also seem to be locked or shut or something. It's unclear at the moment how they are being kept closed, but
Oh, there's a fire hazard.
Mm-hmm.
somehow I don't think Screenshot cares about that. Speaking of, it's at this point that you hear Screenshot speak up again, and he'll say, struggle all you like. You will not be able to defeat me. I've decided that this is your end, squires. Leaves it at that, and at that point you hear like the people by the south entrance are like coughing a whole lot, and some of them are like doubling over and spasming a bit, and Screenshot says after that, you all may be but mere pawns and puppets in this conflict, but I can make my own. And you see that some of the people who were coughing the most violently suddenly like start moving around all rigidly and jerkily. And you hear, a couple of like people are screaming at this point and very confused. From what you can see on these people's faces, like they don't know what's happening. Like they're moving about without it being their choice. But they seem to be turning on the other people here, and they're not like striking out willy-nilly or anything, but they are like trying to round people up and like gather them away from the exits. They are doing what they can to now stop the other people from getting out. So Screenshot has somehow taken control of people and is using them as his minions. That'll bring it back around. Or one more thing. Chloe, you see that Eve is like, since you were right next to her when you chucked the chair. And you see that she is kind of looking at you intently for a moment and is like, Chloe, what's going on? You said don't look at the screens. What's going on?
I don't know. This doesn't seem kosher.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And like starts looking around, trying to find, the nearest exit. We'll say that of the three of you, that Chloe, you, and Eve are closest to the people who seem to be controlled right now. So it's back around to y'all. What do you want to do?
Well, since it's easiest for me to get into costume and I'm already surrounded by darkness, out from the shadows you just see like a beacon of light, her eyes and her gas mask appear. I will move, not where I was standing, so it's not like obvious that Subrina is, but yeah, this green from the shadows as Subrina flies into the room, and she's gonna say, You want a screenshot? I'm right here. Take your best shot.
All right, sounds like you are trying to provoke someone.
I am. I'd love to. Hold on. All right. Let's see. That's a 7.
Okay, so on a 7 to 9, they can instead choose one. They stumble, you take +1 forward against them. They err, you gain a critical opportunity, or they overreact, you gain influence over them.
Ooh.
I'll remind you that if you have influence over someone, you get +1 ongoing in your rolls with them.
I think I'm gonna make them overreact.
Okay. Easy enough, and so...
Also, I'm wearing a gas mask, so you can't do shit. It's got really great filters that are made out of my lung tissue. I don't know.
So the screens in the gym all kind of flicker, and like it's now like an angry Screenshot face, as they all are kind of like angled towards you. Ah, Corvid. you want my best shot, be careful what you wish for. And with that, there's two things happen. There's one where like some of the screens suddenly like just get brighter and brighter and brighter until like once they hit critical mass, they shoot a laser towards you. And at the same time, the one remaining vent, like the stuff that was kind of like hissing and coming out of the vents, like stops acting like a natural gas, like you would expect, and suddenly like becomes a focused stream towards you. And as it like focuses and condenses, you can see it's like very sparkly and glinting in there with the lights that are in here. So something metallic, maybe. But trying to think if this is. I don't think I want you to take a powerful blow, but this also doesn't feel like enough to be a condition. I'll say that as you are like harried by these laser shots and this stream of whatever from the vents, that you will have a -1 forward as you are trying to not get hit, which, you know, can't be canceled out by the +1 ongoing you have against screenshot. But all right, what about the rest of you?
Can I ice blast the remaining vent from where I am, or will I need to get out of the darkness?
You would probably need to get out because you were at the opposite end of the gym from it. You got the ones that were like more towards the stage end.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, you could try, but you would risk losing accuracy and control from here.
Ice blast too much stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I think so who is it next to me? Anna is up here with me. I'm gonna kind of like, you know, to her, I'm like, Anna, we need to start getting people back towards the fire exits as quick as we can. If you can try and get any of your lacrosse folks to start herding people that way or something.
And you see that like she's been looking around because she can't see anything right now, but she kind of like turns towards you as she hears your voice. And it's like, Kevin, yeah, okay, all right, sure, oh, yeah, and just can't seem to get a full sentence out, you know, clearly panicking about all this.
All right.
But
I'll kind of help move her out of the darkness so she can see. And yeah, after that, I think I'm just gonna eyes glow blue and fly over and ice breath the last vent.
So just no attempt to hide this from Anna?
No, right. From anyone. I'm just in no costume, still just in what I wore. It's like, all right.
Sure. Which is something reminiscent of the Golden Duke. You're not the only person dressed up as the Golden Duke here, but yours was probably the best made of the outfits. But so you know for sure that Anna sees this. It's unclear who else notices.
I'm basically not hiding it. The eyes are blue. This is clearly the Paragon guy. Like he's not in his costume, but yeah.
Sure. I guess in my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, the blue glow is bright enough that it will like obscure like your upper third at least, but maybe it's less than that.
It's like my face. Okay. So I mean, I'm obscured, but like, yeah, I'm kind of more thinking like maybe you can kind of see like a rough outline of like the bottom of my face and you know, kind of my hair and stuff like that. But
yep. All right. So yeah, were you about to say something?
Not necessarily. I was gonna say, no, it's gone. Never mind. It's not important.
Okay. Fair. Yeah, so you fly over and you're able to ice the remaining vent. You see that there is still like this condensed cloud that is like swarming around Corvid. In addition to these laser shots going at her, and you see that there are still the people being controlled down on the ground, but all the vents seem to be sealed for now.
All right.
Okay. Chloe, what you got?
I've got a couple of things that I could do. I think that Chloe's gonna focus on the doors. There's probably a lot of people like crowded around it at this point, right?
Yeah, especially towards like the fire exit doors, because at this point, like the main entrance doors have the people who are like being puppeted that are like trying to shove the crowd away.
Okay. I've got a wild idea.
All right.
So one of my doom signs is portal. And you mark your doom track to appear in a scene with anyone you want. Remind me of the name of our friend with the dog. It's David,
Yosef.
right? Yosef? Why did I think it was David?
Because we have
No,
a David.
that's David. David's right
I
there.
mean, yeah, well, I mean, I know that's David. I was like, that's not right. God, okay, fine. I was like, why would we name a character David? That's crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna portal to Yosef.
Okay.
That's the only person I know is outside, for sure.
All right. I imagine you're still right next to Eve as this happens.
I'm gonna feign like I'm falling over, like I got bumped by somebody who's running, you know, and then
Okay.
roll under a table and then do it.
Trying to think. I feel like
Does
this
it look
should
like the Demogorgon hole when you're like it's all
Well,
viney and dirty?
The last time that she used portal, it was one of those things. It's like we kind of treated it like tree stride, where she can travel through plants and things. But since there's no like direct like contact with plants that she could have, I think that her body literally just turns into vines and roots and slithers under a door.
Okay. I'm offering you the chance to make a roll of some kind to obscure this from people noticing, or like making it harder for people to notice, or you can just eschew the roll and it happens. Like you will get there. It's just how much you want to try and hide it in the act.
You know, it's really funny. I think that the only way I could do that is by rolling mundane, and I know that there's no way I'm gonna succeed at that. So yeah, I'll take the free.
Okay.
I'll take the free potential. Why not?
Sure. I mean, there's a chance. You've
There is
only
a
got a
chance.
-2.
It's more like a -3 because of conditions, but you
Right.
know. Technically, somebody could help me and make this
Yeah.
succeed if they wanted to.
I'm flying up in the air, being big and distracting. I could just like yell for people to start moving towards the back or something like that, or like maybe I just like everyone throw shit at the screens.
Just start picking up chairs and throwing them.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I think that will bump this up to a mixed success. We'll say that as you like do this and you slither off, we get a moment of seeing Eve watch the plants slither away before she, like most of the others in here, start listening to Paragon giving the orders. We then the vines. You get stopped at the doors, but with the power and it being like I'm focusing on getting to Yosef, that like the vines and roots like peel up one of the floorboards of the gym and like slither down under there, and you're traveling through the ground and you emerge very quickly actually into this tunnel that is going under the school, and you find Yosef and the professor there. And from their perspective, just kind of these vines and roots, and like there are already some poking through because this is mostly a like underground tunnel. Like they haven't gotten into the school basement or anything yet.
Now, when I emerge, I want to be in my hemlock getup.
Easy enough.
Easy enough.
Yeah. So suddenly Hemlock appears in front of these two, and Yosef and the professor, like, how close to them do you appear? And in front of or behind them?
Fairly close. It depends. Like, how cramped is this tunnel?
It's decently sized, at least a 6-foot diameter around.
I appear on whichever side is closest to the gymnasium. So
okay.
It depends on which direction this tunnel is going and which direction he's going.
Yeah, you can tell that based on like the route network that it's not really heading for the gym.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be going towards, more of the school proper. But so we'll say that like it's going to cut a 45-degree angle across one of the corners of the gym, and you like pop out of the wall from there, like in front of them, and you get this brief moment of like Yosef seems to be creating the tunnel in front of him as he is like holding out his hand, and like the earth is just like almost melting in front of him. But he's leaving enough space in front of him so that it's like he's not flush with the wall that is collapsing or anything. So there's a good 5 feet or whatever in front of him, and you suddenly pop out of the wall in front of him, and like almost to where his hand is outstretched, and he's like, Hemlock, what are you doing here? And the professor starts growling at you.
That's fair. She's gonna get like her bearings, like look around, like does this tunnel continue or is it collapsing behind him?
It continues back. It's not collapsing behind him. Well, there's a good stretch behind him that you can see is not collapsed, but at the very edge, and because he's got like a flashlight or something in here so that there's light, you can see that like you can't see the I don't think it's fully dark outside yet, but it's also fall. You can't see a light out past behind him. So
All right.
It seems like the earth is closing up again behind him at some point. You're not entirely sure what's making that happen.
Okay. She like looks around and then like says in her deeper Hemlock voice, "Are you a part of this? Are you working with Screenshot?"
You see that he was getting ready to respond to that. It's like, wait, Screenshot? What's going on?
Do you even know what's happening up there?
The dance? What's happening?
I feel like that's
and
a
then
good cutaway moment.
Yep. We'll go back to the gym, and we see Screenshot is still trying to bombard Corvid with the lasers, and as some of the swarm like condenses around you, we'll say that like with your your shape-changing abilities, like you are very sensitive to things being on your body, and you can tell fairly quickly that these are a bunch of nanobots that he is controlling. And so you feel them trying to like get in through your gas mask and stuff, but because it's like they're not finding any purchase with you. They are certainly an annoyance, but you do not feel in any danger of them getting into your system and taking you over. Paragon, you see some people are starting to throw chairs at some of the screens. You do see that some people are kind of in that like dazed state of, oh no, they locked eyes with the Screenshot Gorgon, essentially. but some of the screens are getting broken. You see that Anna has found a couple of the lacrosse people, seems to be giving them some directions who are going off to others, and you see a couple of them are like trying to go and maybe muscle the people being controlled. But you also see that Anna like reaches into her dress, pulls out something, whispers into her hand, and then goes back to trying to help other people. And you see actually that there are a couple other people around. You see that there is apparently the real Umpteen here, which, you know, easy enough for him to hide given that so many of the people are dressed up as him. And you only know it's the real him because you see like some of them being formed. And so them you see you know, a couple other squires that you are aware of being here, and so they are springing into action to varying degrees. They are mostly focused on trying to keep people safe. And yeah, it's at this point that Screenshot pipes up again. Well, you all certainly are putting up a struggle. Suppose that's only fair, the last desperate gasps of a dying beast. Let us see if you are worthy of the title of heroes. And it's at this point that you see the screens stop their barrage on Corvid and to some degree you, Paragon, and instead start shooting lasers into the crowd. You hear some people screaming out in pain. I'm just going to give this to y'all. No one seems to be dying from this, but it is very much like people are under attack right now. And it is not a good time. So what do you all do?
All right. If I were to use, I'm gonna try and use X-ray vision to see if I can find where the like main power is being like supplied to for the school. Like, see if there's like a line underground or maybe connecting to the gym or something. And I'm gonna just try and laser it. Just cut through whatever, as long as it's not a person, and cut power to the gym and see if that'll stop the screens.
Yeah. I think this will be an Unleash Your Powers just to make sure that you are like focusing in on the right stuff.
Okay. Ooh, a 5.
Ooh.
I don't think we have enough team, yeah?
Nope.
Yeah.
So you get to mark potential.
Mm-hmm.
And what I will say is that you notice that like it seems like each of the screens here has its own like independent power source, and you're gathering that now like someone helped prep this up ahead of time somehow, but like you're basically gonna have to smash all the electronics in here, including like people's cell phones, because you know that Screenshot can travel around a network. And so like you could theoretically do it, but it would take a lot to like fully cut off his access to this room.
Can I say to Corvid, just gonna be like, I think this might need an EMP.
You have made Elby so happy.
I love you, David. Thank you for letting me have this opportunity. I would like to do that, please. Especially crawling in nanobots.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if this is just going to be an unleash your powers, or are you thinking do this with alien tech, or how are you imagining
That's a good
doing this?
question. Either way, it's freak. But I think I can overpower my alien tech to do it. Oh, we never said who was the leader.
Oh, right, duh. So, yeah, forgot about that because it's been a month. So, when you enter into battle against a dangerous foe, add one to the team pool. So y'all are gonna get a little bit more team here.
Did somebody take the ones out that we already did?
If
I don't
you haven't,
think so.
you're down to 1 based on what I put in there. So starting this would put you at 2.
Yep.
So now decide, or no, add 2 to the team pool. So we'll say
3.
it's at 3 right now. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So who is the leader right now?
I get things if I'm the captain. That's all.
And you are the first one to spring into action.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you the leader.
Yeah, you kind of set the stage.
Yep.
Literally.
Yep. All right. Does leader have influence over every other teammate?
I assume so. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Add another team, so that puts you at 4. Does everyone have the same purpose in this fight?
Get everyone out. Stop the screensaver. Slaver. Screenshot.
Screenslaver is a much better name.
No, that's already a thing. That's already a thing.
Yeah, no, it's take.
Yeah. But that puts you all at 5. Does any team member mistrust the leader or the team?
No.
Nope.
Is your team ill prepared or off balance?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
So the leader can mark a condition to avoid removing that one. Otherwise, that would put you all at 4, team.
We've been needing the team. I can mark a condition.
All right. So that puts your team pool at 5.
All right. All right. Anyways, I do have a... So now that I'm the captain, look at me. I'm the captain now. I do have... when you enter battle as a team, add an extra team to the pool. Carry +1 forward if you are the leader. So I have +1, -1, +1.
So that nets out to +1.
Yes. So with the... hello, handsome. Hello. I'm also angry. So I have +1 on going to unleash my powers if I want to use that, but I think alien tech is just fine here.
Yeah.
So roll plus freak.
Yeah, so it'll max out at +4 because that's the highest bonus you can get in this game.
Okay. So God damn it. I rolled a 5. I rolled a 5 with +4. Wait, how come it's only +2?
What?
Oh, I'm hopeless. I'm hopeless.
Ah. Okay, so yeah, that's still gonna be a
Well,
miss.
No, would it... Hopeless... Is that lower my freak altogether, or just when I'm trying to unleash my powers?
Your powers.
Okay.
But if you're doing alien tech, then it wouldn't.
Yeah, so it would be...
a mixed success.
7, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, so...
I totally did that on purpose.
Yeah, on a hit, you create a device that can do something impossible once, then fizzles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. I'm gonna take my watch off, and I have other devices in the Kirby Craft, but I'm gonna say this is the one use for this for now. I'm gonna imbue it with magical light. Hi, Simon. And I'm going to set off an EMP.
All right.
It's a bright flash of light. A green light. A green light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, Simon? Yeah.
This light builds and builds and builds, and there's just a boom as it spreads throughout the gym. And immediately the nanobots on you deactivate and clatter to the floor. You see all the people who are being puppeted also kind of slump over. The screens flicker and go dim. All the lights are blasted off.
So it's just me, it's Corbin and Paragon, just the light.
Pretty much.
Alright, who's not dead?
Yeah. And this continues to, goes throughout the gym. You very briefly hear Screenshot let out a yell of frustration before they are silenced. And it's quiet in the gym. We'll go back to underground as Hemlock, I assume you have told Yosef kind of what is happening.
Yeah, I quickly fill him in. I say, "Can you get me to the surface?"
Uh, yeah. Hold on. There's like a moment of hesitation as he is like looking at you and kind of looking at himself and like, okay, yeah. And like angles his hand upward, and you see that like the roof of the tunnel starts like melting, and as the like earth falls away, like it is in a liquid form and kind of like falls down as a mud on you, but there's something odd about it. Like it's not earth mixed with water. It is like earth has been turned from a solid into a liquid.
Interesting. All right. She's gonna say thanks, and there's like that exact same moment of hesitation of like, I should do something about this. And she just heads up.
Yeah. Now, did you want him to get you out on like the surface or like back into the school just outside the gym?
Just outside the gym. I mean,
Okay.
like, that's where she's going, but like, she asked to go to the surface. If that's where she goes, that's where she goes.
Yeah. We'll say that you find yourself actually popping out inside one of the locker rooms abutting the gym. So you were fairly close. But, it's quiet in here.
Am I like not outside?
Not you would have had to have directed him specifically to be outside because based on where y'all were under the school at this point, like you are under the school.
I see. That was the intent, was to get outside so she could open the door from there.
Yes, yeah, you can get outside. And we'll say that you are right by one of the fire exits, and you see that there is this like around like the edges of the door is this like silvery squirming mass around that is like keeping the door sealed. And just for time's sake, this is like shortly before the EMP goes off.
I think that her instinct is to just grab the door and try and yank it open, regardless of like what's trying to hold it shut. Like super strength is a part of her portfolio, so she's just using like the vines inside her to like extra strength. Pull the door. Yeah, get that open.
I think this is still going to be an unleash your powers. You have to overcome an obstacle, reshape your environment.
That's an 8.
Okay. So on a mixed success, either mark a condition or I'll tell you how it's unstable or temporary.
Let's go with unstable.
Okay. So as you like go and start applying pressure, like first you just try and get the door and it doesn't even budge. And you see some of that silvery mass like starts, like it reacts to your presence and trying to open the door, and it like starts trying to slowly make its way to the handle where you're touching it. But as you like put your powers into it and unleash the vines, I'm imagining like you get a vine gauntlet around your hand, which acts as a layer of protection between you and the nanobots.
And like even digs into the ground with some roots and just like, rah!
Yeah, and as you are doing that, and like the nanobots are putting up a fight, but as Oleander, or well, as the vines touch the nanobots, Oleander kind of like gives a feral hiss in your mind of like an angry cat being like, I do not like this. But you are able to and it's a little bit of a struggle between you and the nanobots as they like, you start pulling it and you see like, oh, it's starting to come open at this side, and so the nanobots like swarm from the hinge side over to the door side to help apply more pressure. But you're able to open the door enough, but like then the nanobots move to like, they become like almost a web to like cover the opening, so it's not like completely enclosed, but it's still going to be difficult for people to get through there. But you're able to see into the gym now, where you see that there are people freaking out. You see above everyone, your two friends are discussing, and there's this green light starting to glow with Subrina. And I'll say that as you are doing this as well, you feel that the nanobots are about to get the best of you and close the door, but you then hear a like clattering and scurrying behind you, and as you glance down, you see a bunch of squirrel skeletons come charging towards the door and like leap up onto the nanobots and start just like going to town on them. And it's enough that you are able to just with one final yank get the door open and the nanobots disperse. Some of the squirrels seem to disappear into the gym, others scurry back into the night. And it's at this point that the EMP reaches its charged up state, and what few nanobots were left fall to the ground. Screenshot lets out the angry yell, and it is dark in the gym except for your friends, and now the light coming in through this door. All right, what do you do?
Hemlock just starts directing people to leave the gym.
Yeah, and people are flooding out. There is still a gaping hole in the floor, in the ground, like near you. Do you cover that up with vines at all, or?
Or yeah, like if there's a safety hazard, then yes.
Yeah. So yeah, you are able to start funneling people out. Corvid and Paragon, you see that Hemlock has appeared outside and is getting people out. Yeah, so it's most of the rest of the doors. You're seeing that people are getting them open, but they're difficult and stuck. Maybe even though the nanobots are deactivated, they're still like crammed into the edges at those places. But you have this one fire exit open.
I'll go push, like, I'll fly over and like knock one open or something like that.
Yeah, and so it's easy enough for y'all to get more of the doors open. You see some of the umpteens are like pushing together to get another door open. You see some of the other squires who have appeared, and like who they are, but you can also tell like they have just thrown on like a mask or a helmet or something and like done a little bit. Like most of them aren't able to do a full costume change, but they are like tending to the people who got taken over by the nanobots, and you see some of them are like retching up nanobots that have gotten into their systems. And
nasty.
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. And it's you do notice that there aren't like emergency vehicles on their way. No one seemed to have been able to get a call off or anything, but now that there is like the door is open to the outside, your paladin devices work because they are of course EMP proof because they have that technology and they need to be ready for that.
Yeah.
So
Corvin's gonna start breaking screens, just in case.
Yeah, because they're powered off at this point. Only some of them got broken, but yeah.
Do we know if he can like give power to things, or can I just like unplug them? Like I don't mind breaking them, but I guess I'm angry. No fucking, I'm breaking them.
Yeah. Which I will remind y'all, like a way to clear the angry condition is to break something important. So if you are seen to be like breaking a bunch of the school's stuff in the wake of this, like, you know, pros and cons there. Like it can get rid of your angry condition, but it might not be the best optics.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'd be fine with all the TVs. I'm gonna just start chucking some of them into space. Just start taking them outside, throw them into space.
Whoosh.
Yeah, I think maybe you get like one into space before you're like, oh, that's so much work to actually get all the way out into space. But you can start chucking some of the others into the nearby ocean easily enough.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think yeah, I think Corvid's gonna say, Paragon, you might wanna not. It's a little obvious.
Oh. Thanks. Yeah, and then I'll fly. I'll do a quick fly to change into my real costume.
Yeah. So you're gone for like a minute as you're able to get to. You probably go up to the greenhouse where there's, you know, a spare costume kept behind a false wall or something, and come back down. I thought about having Jimothy just be up there, just on, like, he can't go to homecoming, but he's still just gonna be, no, Jimothy is not there. Jimothy is safe. No one worry. Your boy is fine. But yeah, so Paragon's visibly smashing TVs. Is anyone else doing anything for that? Are any of the rest of you angry? Subrina is.
Oh, I already smashed a TV earlier. I'm good.
Yeah, so just as a reminder, aside from comfort or supporting someone, which is the main way to clear a condition, at the end of any scene in which you take the corresponding action, clear that condition. For angry, you hurt someone or break something important. To clear afraid, you run from something difficult. To clear guilty, make a sacrifice to absolve your guilt. To clear hopeless, fling yourself into easy relief. Clear insecure, take foolhardy action without talking to your team. If there's anything among there that sounds like something you want to do, let me know. Otherwise, we can kind of, you're able to reach the paladins. They are, of course, abhorred that, the school has been attacked. And so it's mere moments before they have, some of their teleporters showing up with, big grade heroes to take control of the scene.
I think after that seems to be managed, Corvid's gonna stay in Sabrina's gonna stay in Corvid form, and kind of go up to Hemlock and just go, where did you go? You got outside?
She just nods.
You okay?
She nods again.
Actually okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I had plans for tonight.
Yeah. Guess we'll never know who won homecoming court. It's fine. Should we search the school and make sure that he didn't slither away into the system?
It's a good idea.
Okay. Is Paragon back?
Yeah, Paragon's back.
Chucking TVs into the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just bringing them outside of the gym and just putting them across the city into the ocean.
We're gonna check to make sure the school is clear. So, go if you want to continue to do what you're doing, or we're just gonna do a round.
Oh, I can help. Seems more important.
Chloe gets in close between the two of them and sort of whispers a little. Do you guys know if Yosef is a squire?
Not that I know of. Why?
I used his dogwood corsage to get outside, and he was underground.
What?
Like completely underground, using some sort of like liquefaction power.
Oh.
Like, so when you say
Why?
underground, is it like he was just in the ground as a liquid? Like, was there?
No,
Oh, that's a good question. That's not what I
He
pictured.
was literally, like, physically underground, tunneling, turning the ground into liquid.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't ask. I was more focused on getting the door open.
Fair. Weird. Should we talk to him? It seems like an odd thing. He said he was
Also, there were
out...
these squirrel skeletons? That's not a power that we have on record, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to metagame, but there was a tunnel and skeletons involved when we were introduced to these characters.
Yep.
Did we see that though?
I mean,
Saw a
it's,
tunnel and
yeah, you know that there were skeletons and that
Yeah.
that villain group escaped via a tunnel.
Like,
Huh.
this happened.
Wait, you don't think Yosef is a super villain?
I thought he and his friend group were up to something tonight, but I thought it was something to do with the homecoming.
I did
Were they being
see
sketchy?
Anna grab something and like talk into it real weird and clandestine.
Oh, shit. Okay. But you don't think that they were involved with the screensaver thing?
No, I don't think
Screenshots
they were
are.
involved.
Also, Anna 100% knows that I'm Paragon. Like, definitely knows that.
I think I hit it.
No, she knows.
No.
For 100%.
For me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I
Well,
think maybe we talk to him, huh?
Yeah. We'll clear the school
Yeah.
first and then go find him.
All right.
I'm gonna fly up, since that's kind of how I'll help clear the school, and see if I can clock them, like the group. I don't know who all is in the group. I just know Yosef and Anna. But I'm gonna then also try to see if I can pick out any lacrosse team members or anyone that I
Sure.
know associates with the two of them.
Yeah. I think go ahead and roll me another plus freak again, just to see like how quickly you are able to narrow in on them, because there's a lot of people all over the school now.
All right. Something in my eye. All right. 7.
Okay, so you can either mark a condition or I'll tell you how it's unstable or temporary.
I'll mark a condition.
All right.
Mark an
What I-
insecure.
Yeah. What I will say for this is you don't see them, but what you do see is you find this tunnel that Yosef was working on, and you see that it eventually gets to like the school's server room. And so you go there and, presumably you had another reason to be there as well if that's where Screenshot was, but you get there and find that a lot of the machines there have been just destroyed in all sorts of manners. There's some that you see have been liquefied, some that have like shards of bone going through them, and some that seem like they have been just utterly sandblasted, as there is an odd amount of dust and sand in this room. But every single computer in the server room has been trashed. And so, you are fairly confident that Screenshot can't still be in the school network with this. But there's also, like, the entire school server has been very damaged.
Does the tunnel look like it changed direction at all? Like, does it look like it was going somewhere else first and then it changed over here to do this? Or does it look like this was always where they were going? Or can I tell?
No, you can tell easily enough, like, based on what Hemlock described to you, like, there's a brief moment where, like, the tunnel maybe diverged a little bit about where Hemlock got him to dig the tunnel out for her. But for the most part, it's a straight line for the tunnel from its original entrance to the server room.
Would the server room be where the voting for homecoming court would be?
Possibly. You don't know for sure if that's how they were running the app, but I mean, could be that. Whole lot of other potential reasons to want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So with that, and some of the paladins come and check it out, and it's like, they also were figuring this was a screenshot attack. Let's make sure there's not, get them out of the system, and they come and find, oh, there's no system left. And so they say they'll take over from here. They are, also very curious about the damage done to the room. But
do we have any record or file of anything that like this other than the bank? She asks the paladins.
Yeah.
The knights.
Yeah. I can pick one, or y'all can decide which hero is here for you to interface with.
You pick one.
We will say that it is. I gotta get to my right folder. I was about to give you a.
Timothy. Sorry.
Well, no, I was about to say Flint's there, but no, that's because that was just the first name that I saw. Yeah, no, you see, Chad's telling me to just have Flint there.
He's graduated.
Oh,
Yeah.
buddy.
No, you see the, I have to find her back in my notes, but the one who is, like a sailor scout. She was in, like, very early Squire squad. Like back when the Mouseketeer first showed up. This is taking so long to find him.
Not Bree. Combio, Dinosaurus. I don't have anything. I have all the bad guys.
Yeah, I mean, this was a... She's shown up, like, once. It
could just be Hopules.
Yeah, so it's Hopules and this knight who is like a sailor scout. And so they are working together, but they briefly confer, and Hopules will then say no, I mean, there's, we would have to run a fuller check back at HQ, but the only I mean, the first power matches that are coming up are the skeleton crew that you stopped at the bank. Well, encountered at the bank.
Right. Well, we might have a lead. We're gonna do that.
All right. If you think it's important for tonight's events, but obviously our priority is making sure everyone's safe, getting medical attention to those who were attacked by the nanobots. But we have most of it. We have it under control here. If
Okay.
it's up to you whether you want to pursue this as squires or if you want to go and find your dates and let them know that you're okay.
We will do both of those things. Thank
All right.
you.
Well, we will let you know if we need anything.
Okay.
Okay. Chat has informed me that the Sailor Scout is throwback.
Yeah! I can't find my notes!
All right.
It's alright, Z.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't find it in my notes either.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
we gotta track these mofos down. Oh! Question.
yes.
Is he still wearing the corsage? The boutonniere? Because couldn't Chloe track that?
I will say that I mean, you can try. There is he no longer has the boutonniere, the corsage on him. And a quick check shows that neither does Anna. Well, for Anna, it's obvious because pretty much everyone in the gym had their flowers go up and block the vent. So you don't have plant tracking abilities in that sense.
Okay. We'll move away from the knights and put together a game plan.
Yeah. Which is probably a good place for us to take a break because it's about that time. So we are gonna take a quick break here, refill water, grab some snacks, take meds, stretch, all that good stuff. We'll be back real soon, so don't go nowhere. Hello, we are back. That was a relatively short Tuesday break, all things considered. Who are we and what have we done with the Squire squad? We are back and we're fresh from our break and ready to finish out the homecoming episode. So, we left things with our heroes getting to the school server room after determining that's where the tunnel was heading. And so there were twofold purposes there. Figure out what Yosef and that crew seemed to be getting up to, and also making sure that Screenshot is no longer a threat to the school. Given that the server room was completely trashed, fairly confident that Screenshot is no longer a threat here, but in a quick scanning of the school grounds, Paragon was unable to find the people in question. And so at this point, you all have essentially been dismissed as the Knights and Paladins are taking over. And you told them that you were pursuing a lead. And so now it's to you all whether you want to seek out these people in your heroic forms, or if you want to return to your civilian selves and try and find them that way. I think I'm going to change music tracks here a little bit, but all right, what do you all want to do?
Yeah, Sabrina is gonna go is gonna ask the group, so how do we want to handle this? Do we want to go as us or go as our heroes?
I think probably we should make an appearance as us, right? Just so we're seen in the aftermath. If people want to hang on to identities at all.
Yeah.
I was kind of okay getting, just openly being Paragon, but I don't think enough people put it together.
Yeah.
I think I could probably salvage it.
Okay.
I think by this point it makes sense for us to have gone home, don't you think?
I think everyone's still out there, like they're talking to police and stuff like that.
There's still like almost it's not a full-on field hospital, but like everyone is being like checked over, and parents are starting to arrive and are demanding that they get to see their kids, but there's just a last line of, we have to make sure that everyone's okay. This was a supervillain attack. And so yeah, as far as you can tell, like most if not everyone from the dance is still here on the school grounds. When you did your scan, you didn't see Yosef and Anna, but maybe they have made their way back into the crowd at this point, or maybe they're gone.
All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and go in our mild-mannered identities.
Okay. Subrina Corvus shifts back into Subrina.
Would you perhaps be willing to help me out with an appearance of Paragon and Kevin at the same time? Since I just publicly
be you?
I
won't say anything, but
okay.
I could do that.
Would you rather be Paragon or Kevin?
Ooh, Paragon, because he's more mysterious.
Okay, so yeah, if you just want to like do a
flyover.
Maybe you could carry me out like I was trapped under something or something like that.
Yes. Okay. Hold on. Are you ready?
All right. I'm gonna ditch some of the costume though, so it's not as obvious that I was dressed that way.
Subrina shifts into Paragon, just the glowing, trying not to smile.
Right. And yeah,
you could even run back to the greenhouse and drop off your spare costume and then be carried out of the school.
Yeah, I'll just be in normal. I'll be in what I wore to the dance, except I'll lose the giant pauldrons and stuff like that, and maybe people will forget that I went that all out.
Yep.
Yeah, I will. Corvin or Paragon will carry Kevin out and place him on the lawn in full view of everyone else, and kind of just stand there and say, "Are you feeling all right, citizen?"
Yeah, those whatever that gas stuff was, it had a packed a wallet, didn't it?
Chloe's gonna come out from behind a tent
vomit.
and really sell this. Oh my God, Kevin, are you okay? I'm so glad that Paragon saved you, Kevin.
Yeah, I've always wanted to meet you, Paragon. Maybe we could get a picture real quick.
There are no functioning electronic devices right now.
It seems that the EMP is put everything out of commission for the moment, but if we meet again, perhaps.
All right. If I become some kind of reporter.
She says to Chloe, "Citizen, are you all right?
Yeah,
you were stuck under that rubble pretty good."
Yeah, I also was stuck under rubble, and that's why nobody has seen me until now.
Good. Turns to the knights. You can handle it from here, correct?
think you see one of them like kind of looks at Kevin, looks at you, and then it's just like, yeah, we got it.
All right, there was one more stuck. I will make sure that she finds her way out to her friends.
Thank you for your service, Paragon. Can I please get Kevin and Chloe to roll mundane and Sabrina to roll plus superior? Just want to see how good these acting roles are.
Not. I already know it's not.
It's a 5. Miss.
5. Miss.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh,
It's about
boy.
right.
Yeah.
We role played it correctly.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, well, y'all get potential.
Woo!
It's just a chat. They cannot salvage this with Team in the Pool. It was a 5, a 5, and a 3.
We could get one of the 5s up to a success, I think, right? Is there enough team for that?
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
But I don't think that's gonna help.
But I don't want to. It's way funnier.
Yeah.
Paragon just kind of goes, okay, and like hovers and then flies forward and back into the thing, and then Sabrina's just gonna come out. Oh my god, guys, that was so crazy! Paragon's gonna go check out some other stuff, as what he said to me. Are you guys okay?
Yes, Sabrina, I'm good.
Yeah. Where's everyone?
Where's Yosef?
Yeah.
Where's my date? Is the professor okay?
As you say that, actually, you see like coming out from the middle of the crowd, you hear a barking, and the professor and Yosef emerge, coming towards you, and the professor comes up to you, gives you some licks. And Yosef's like, oh my god, are you okay? I had taken the professor out to do his business when that all went down.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really scary. I got like knocked off the stage like right away, and then like a bunch of superheroes showed up, and like there was like a bright light, which I think was like an EMP, and then Paragon saved me. It was really cool. I mean, scary but cool.
And you see that Yosef is like on the verge of a panic attack, and it's at that point that the professor like turns back over and like paws up on him and is like helping him calm back down. I'm glad that you're okay, and you guys too. Is it bad if I say that I'm glad I wasn't in there? I think I might have just like passed out, or I would have been useless in there.
What? So you were just out here taking? Did you see anything outside?
I mean, I saw Hemlock at one point. She seemed to be trying to do something. But no, I mean, the last thing I came out, I heard the sounds inside, and then, I didn't want to run back inside because it would have been dangerous, but then Hemlock got the side door open and everyone started flooding out.
Yeah, it's crazy. Where's everyone else?
I mean, I think they're getting checked. I saw Eve, and like points over, and you see Eve is somewhere in the crowd. And I think Anna's with the lacrosse team. In short enough order, you're able to find the others. Eve is getting checked over, and Anna is, they're checking her, because she was up on the stage when it all went down, and then, but yeah, she seems to be, she's not like shrugging off the like shock blankets, which there are plenty of those out and about for students, but yeah, she seems to be a-okay. As she comes over to you, Kevin, and just, oh, Kevin, you're okay.
Do you guys want to talk
of you in there?
in private? Kevin?
Sure. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's not really privacy around here, but the two of you step off to the side. Yeah.
Away from
Yeah. I don't know if I can whisper to Kevin, and our phones aren't working.
You know I have super hearing and stuff. You
Yeah,
could
yeah,
probably
yeah.
just whisper very quiet.
Yeah, I think she just like clears her throat and then covers her mouth and says, "Keep her out of sight for a minute." I don't have to whisper. Keep her out of sight for a minute is what she says.
All right. Yeah, let's just head over, kind of walk away from the crowd and from what all's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sorry, Yosef, do you mind hanging out with Chloe for a second? I just want to make sure some of my other friends are okay.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Chloe, how are you doing? I heard from Eve that you were close, but then not close like that. I mean, near each other, and then she lost track of you. And
yeah, it was pretty crazy in there. I think you were lucky to be outside.
Yeah.
Did you hear about what happened to the server room?
No.
It's wild.
What happened?
Everything was destroyed.
Gosh.
I didn't even know that screenshot could do that kind of stuff. There were bones everywhere and sand, and a few things looked like they'd been melted.
I mean, that doesn't sound like it's in Screenshot's power set. Did some Squires get to the server room?
I don't know. Did some Squires get to the server room? She's just staring at him.
Yeah. We will come back to that. Who wants to go first? Sabrina sneaking off to do her thing, or Kevin and Anna?
Sabrina's gonna come back as Anna after a little bit, so go ahead and do their conversation.
Okay, so yeah, as Kevin, as you and Anna step to the side, she will, just start with, so you're okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. How about yourself?
Gosh, yeah, I'm okay. Thanks for getting me out of that darkness on the stage. That was weird, but based on what I saw, some of the people getting checked over, if you see screenshot, you're kind of in trouble. So I guess that was Corvid helping us out. It's a good thing she was there.
Yeah, for real. So, elephant in the room. You saw what happened.
There was an elephant in the room?
Yeah. Probably, with everything that was going on in there. But, you know what I'm saying, right? Like...
I'm not sure what you're talking about, Kevin.
Okay.
But she's saying this in such a way where it's like she clearly knows what was going on, but it's also, or I guess, roll to pierce the mask, please.
Okay. I think I'm bad at this right now.
It's plus mundane.
Okay, well, I'm always bad at it then. All right.
That's an 8.
Okay,
so on a 7 to 9, you get to ask 1. What do you intend to do? How could I get your character to blank? How could I gain influence over you? What are you really planning? What do you want me to do?
How can I get influence?
Ooh, okay. One I'm least prepared for, but let's see.
Right, we've ignored influence this entire game. Now.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about this as well, is that unless this interaction ends up, once I figure out how to tell you how to get influence over her, unless you decide to like use it to net 0, she will have influence over you, given that she has seen the secret identity. But I guess if you tell her that you saw her being, you noticed her doing that clandestine whispering thing, and you might have to bluff and pretend that you saw her doing more with that than you actually did.
Okay. Imply that I know she's part of whatever's going on with the server room stuff, kind of
potentially.
Thing. Kind of do it back, like she's going like, yeah, I'll keep your secret.
Essentially.
Okay. Go, yeah, that was I did happen to see some things, like for example,
she immediately like covers her chest and is like, wait, no, and then realizes that she's given away her game of pretending that she doesn't know that you're Paragon.
So, for example, Yosef being a fool in a tunnel, and the server room, and your involvement with that. And perhaps a bank robbery of some kind.
All right, Kevin, what is it that you're asking?
I don't know. I'm just putting the cards out here, right? What's the next step? I mean, I guess for one, I probably need to know why you're robbing banks and shit, because you probably need to knock that shit off. Because like I can keep a secret, but like that's kind of a big thing.
Right. Well, assuming that I know something about a bank robbery that may have happened recently, I suppose you may want to ask your gardening friend who helped her get the door open.
Oh.
And you see Anna kind of, again, reaches into, she's got like a shawl almost, but then like pulls out just a small like mouse skull that she has in her hand. And she like has it out on the palm of her hand and focuses on it for a moment, and then it kind of like flatters to life ever so briefly, and just like it's just the skull, so it's not able to do all that much, but like the jaw opens and closes a little bit, and there's like a faint glowing in the eye sockets before she like stops focusing on it, and it just de-animates, and she puts it back away again.
Huh. I was not guessing that was your thing. I thought that was the dog somehow. Shows what I know. But yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll talk about it later. All right. Just, cards on the table. We got some talking to do about this. What's going on? And
Right.
maybe talk about it in a place where it's not so bad. But I mean, for now, we're good. I don't have to worry about anything. There's nothing. You weren't involved with Screenshot at all,
No,
right?
God, no. I can't tell you everything because it's not my place to say, but no, absolutely, Screenshot's doing their own thing.
Okay. Well, all right. We'll talk about things later, and I get your meaning on the gardening club, friend. But yeah. So maybe get your we'll talk later, get your maybe Corvid and my gardening friend and I can talk to you all later, maybe at I was gonna say your house, but that seems like it could be a trap.
I will discuss with those involved.
You could
And-
come to my place, as there's been no reason for me to trap you because I could easily just turn you into the paladins. It's a safe place for us, ensures that there's not going to be any shenanigans, and again, unlikely it's a trap.
Unlikely, but not impossible.
I mean, nowhere's impossible. It's a trap, and it's going to be safer than meeting at like a friggin', froyo place or whatever.
She chuckles. I'm considering Froyo consideration as a neutral
they
ground.
know us too much there. They know us. It's practically home ground for us, anyways. We spend less time at my house.
Well, like I said, I will discuss with any other involved parties and let you know.
Right. If people think that their identities might still be hidden, they are welcome to show up in costume or whatever.
You may remember I did most of the costuming, and you do recall that the people involved in the bank heist had like various bits of bone around and like covering their faces and such.
Sure, you guys really, yeah, that might stand out a little, huh? So yeah. All right, you guys figure it out. It's fine. I'll let you talk to folks. But in the meantime, you're fine.
Yeah, no. We're fine. I do actually want to go back and check one of the girls on the team got hit by one of those lasers, and she'll be okay, but it's not great.
Okay. Well, let me know if there's anything that can. If they need any more help, I'm sure maybe the paladins could do something about it. I'm sure they will, anyways. But we can point.
Yeah. I mean, they've already got their people here. One point in their favor, I guess.
All right. Yeah, I'll kind of leave her be to go to the lacrosse team.
Yep. So meanwhile, what is our not Anna doing?
Anna approaches Yosef and the professor and Chloe and just says, "Yosef, are you okay?"
Yeah, I'm fine. You already done talking with Kevin?
Yeah, we sorted it out. He's gonna go check on a couple of people.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm good. I was telling Chloe here, I was outside the whole time, and you can tell like he is giving you some side eye, like you know this, like this is going a bit far for even like keeping up appearances.
Oh, Chloe, I think Kevin wanted you to go find him.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I think he needed some help.
Okay. He just like keeps on looking at Johan for a second. Or
Yosef. Johan?
Why am I struggling with this so bad?
Mm-hmm.
She just keeps on staring at him for a second. Mm-hmm. And then she'll like do that like spooky like walk backwards thing into the shadows.
Sorry.
That's wow. There's something. So how was it inside? You okay? Eve okay? Is Blaze okay?
Yep, everyone's fine. Did you close up the tunnel?
Yeah, it goes away after a few minutes. You know that.
Right, I just want to make sure I don't want to leave any trails.
I mean, we messed up the server room pretty bad. I mean, you and
Yeah.
Dust Devil made it pretty clear who was there.
Yeah, well, minimize as much as we can. There's kind of can't hide everything, but you know, gotta keep things as low as possible.
And it was a screenshot in the mix. We couldn't risk it. We couldn't.
Right, nothing we.
No time for us to do what we were here for. We just had to nuke it all.
Yeah, and no way of recovering it.
I mean, we smashed hard drives and stuff. It's gonna take a lot to put that back together. I mean, they might have backups on the cloud that but
Yeah, well, there's always tomorrow.
it's gonna take them longer than that. And we can't really we won't have as good of an excuse to be back on school grounds tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll have some time off. We'll have to lay low for a little bit.
It's getting close to the end of the quarter. Not much time left to fudge grades.
It's fair. Yeah, but maybe we can figure out a way to do it in the cloud. Or they're not gonna be able to get everything up, right? So we could just fix them later when they do decide to put everything back up. Maybe the grades will be delayed.
Yeah, maybe. And as he is kind of waffling back and forth, you hear a voice in your head that says, "You are not Anna. Why do you look like her?" And you see the professor is looking straight at you.
Looks at the professor, looks at him. Like in her head, I knew it. I knew you were too smart.
You have 2 seconds, or you have 5 seconds before I let Yosef know. What are you doing?
I'm just trying to make sure that everyone is on the up and up. You guys did rob a bank. Did you guys have anything to do with screenshot?
No. Screenshot was not part of the plan.
And it was just changing grades?
Yeah. That's it. It's hardly the heist of the century.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go check on the rest of the lacrosse team. What are you gonna do?
I mean, catch up with Eve and Blaze and make sure that they're okay. Yeah, I guess we'll all meet up later,
Yeah. Okay. Bye. And then she looks at Professor and gives him a nod.
The professor is just looking at you. There is no tail wagging happening in this moment.
I want all dogs to love me so bad. Okay. Sabrina, as Anna moves back into the crowd, and it's one of those moments where like somebody walks by the camera, she walks by someone who's stationary and switches back into Sabrina, goes to find the crew.
I mean, like, Chloe absolutely did not leave completely.
Yeah.
Like, she's just, like, hiding behind something.
Mm-hmm.
She'll rendezvous with Sabrina.
They were trying to change grades.
What?
Yeah. That was such an elaborate plan.
Are you sure it had nothing to do with homecoming?
Professor is psychic.
Whoa, really?
He talked to me in my head.
Huh.
I wonder if he could read minds. Well, no. If he could read minds, then he would know who I am. So, no. He could just... Where's Kevin?
We're gonna go find Kevin.
As you walk in that direction, you see Anna, passing you. You glance back over your shoulder and you see Yosef is confused and like, wait, what? And you see the professor like, put a paw on his leg.
It's okay.
So yeah, you three are able to meet back up.
So what'd she say?
Anna's the necromancer.
Oh my
And
god.
yeah, we're supposed to meet. She implied she knew who my friend from the gardening club was, who was outside with Yosef. But that's it could be either of you. But
Well,
my guess is that we're in a similar situation. We know that
It's
they're
probably
involved.
me. I was the one who was outside with Yosef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
don't know if they know which one of you two
oh, fair.
is Hemlock, or outside chance they think it's Jimothy.
Oh, that'd be so cool. No, okay, so I know that Anna, Yosef, Blaze, and what was the other one's name?
They said Dust Devil.
Dust Devil, but he said the names of the
Eve.
two other Eve. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're running in a crew, and they were just trying to change the grades.
Do we know who Blaze is?
First time you've heard of a
Mhm.
blaze.
Yeah. Okay, so they've got an extra person.
And
Mhm.
I will clarify, they are saying it like it's just the name. It's not a fire-based
Yeah.
person.
Just some guy named Blaze.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a monster
So one of them
truck.
one of them is Dust Devil.
Mhm.
Oh, and the dog, the professor, is psychic. He talked to me telepathically.
Okay.
He also knows that I wasn't Anna, but I don't know if he knows who I am.
Yeah, okay. That could be just from scent and stuff too, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
he just knew
well,
I wasn't Anna, so.
We're supposed to meet. Myself, my friend from gardening club, and Corvid are supposed to meet the group later. I suggested my place. They're
Mhm.
gonna get back to me.
Okay.
I said not Anna's place because it could be a trap.
Yeah.
I also did let them know that I was on to them about the bank thing.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Right?
Maybe. I implied that I'd be down to keep a secret about this stuff because
What makes you think it's gonna be fun?
I don't know. We've never had like a clandestine meeting before
Mm-hmm.
where we hold all the cards. I mean, we hold a lot of the cards, right? No?
I mean, do we? They know who we are too.
yeah, I think
Right,
we
but
hold
they're the
about an
criminals,
equal
we're
number
not.
of- Yeah, but we also don't want people to know who we are.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I can change my face, but you guys can't really.
Not really.
I mean,
no.
I would just have to be full-time Paragon all the time,
Ugh.
which it's possible. Mostly fine with it,
Mm-hmm.
That
but
sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So I think just wait for them to contact. I'll kind of peek in on them now and again with X-ray vision to make sure they're not up to anything funny. But
Right. We all kind of rode here together, right?
yeah, like limos.
Yeah. So I don't need to offer Yosef a ride home, right?
Well, I think everyone might need a ride home if their cars were parked nearby because there was an EMP.
Oh, that's right.
But I bet the Paladins will provide that. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, but I can call the Kirby Craft. Oh, I can't call the Kirby Craft. Ah, my thing. She holds up her wrist.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will
guess-
say, like, as this has been going on, like, there are parents arriving and taking their kids away. Yeah, and so you gather, like, maybe the limos will come back and take some people back if
Yeah.
there's still anyone around. But for the most part, like, as soon as parents are finding out about this, they are coming to collect their children.
Mhm.
Oh, we could borrow a phone from the Paladins. I could call up Elena and she could send a car over maybe
Perfect. Okay.
for us.
I'm just gonna, from a distance, tell Yosef that we're leaving, or I'm leaving, so that, yeah. Because my scent is kind of the same, I think.
Oh, if you don't want to do that, I could tell them.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, I mean, they all know exactly. If this information has been shared, they all know who I am. It comes across more like a threat,
Yeah.
which could maybe be good.
Ooh, okay, yeah, I like that. So we'll just wait by the curb.
Yeah, wait by the curb. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go see if I can borrow a phone to call Elena.
Yeah, I mean, it'll take some time. You know, the cell network is struggling a bit here, both in the wake of the EMP and then also with how many people are trying to make calls right now. And so, yeah, eventually you're able to get through. She's able to send something, but you all will have some time to wait as like people are being picked up sporadically as their parents get here. It sounded like, Danae, were you gonna say something before I started that, or? Okay. Yeah. As you keep an eye on things, and as the crowd dwindles, you see that like Anna and Yosef are in conversation. Eve wanders over to join them as well, and they are, talking amongst themselves and looking over towards your group, and then back amongst themselves. And then eventually Eve breaks off from the group and wanders over to you all, and just I lost track of you all, and like it's focusing on Chloe right now. It's like, lost track of you in the gym. I'm glad to see that you're all doing okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, it was. I mean, you said start smashing the screens, and so I tried to do a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it seemed like Paragon and Corvid and the other squires really saved the day.
I'm so bummed I missed it. As soon as that darkness came, I like fucking fell off the back of the stage. And it's really dusty back there. And then, well, I did get rescued by Paragon, so that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I imagine so. But just wanted to, make sure that you all were okay and that you knew I was okay, because again, we got separated, and like, even though we weren't here together, just it felt like the thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we'll see you later, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you all have rides coming or not, but Anna was able to get, the limos will be back. I mean, they were going to be back at the end of the dance, but obviously, got cut short. So they're on their way now, but.
Yeah, we've got a car coming.
Okay, that's good. Well.
But yeah, so no word of the meeting.
Meeting?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah. It's been a long night. I think we all need to get home and rest. So I'll see you all on Monday, I guess. Although maybe they'll cancel school with this.
Yeah, I heard the
can
server
only
room
hope.
got trashed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, all of our assignments and stuff are online, so like, we're gonna have a few days off. I would hope so. They have to order a bunch of new crap. Man,
or
Screenshot really did a number.
School. That's my guess. Make us do extra assignments.
No.
Grade those.
We'll see, I guess. But anyway, glad you're okay. I'm ready to go home and take a shower.
Yeah. Get out of this tight dress and put on some PJs, right?
You'd see that it seems like she's about to say a couple things as you mention a very tight dress on you, and she gives you a once over, and then it's like, yes, good night. And she, with a blush on her face, wanders away.
All right, I can use seduction on her.
But how will Roz feel about it.
She doesn't know that she's a villain.
Oh yeah, we'll have to text that later.
Oh my god. Okay.
FYI, Ross, Eve is straight up a villain.
Most likely.
Yeah. Unless there is anything else specifically about that you want to have happen tonight. Then yeah, you all are eventually the car comes from Elena. You all get back to Kevin's house. And yeah, I guess before we go too far ahead, I'm just trying to think, because I feel like there might have been a couple moments throughout there that we were doing comfort or supporting each other. Or if y'all want to do any of
I've
your
got a
team
couple of
moves.
scenes that could count as that.
Yeah.
On the way home, Chloe asks the other two if they want some soda.
Sure.
Just reaches into her pockets and pulls out like several bottles of soda from Anna's house.
Dang! Root beer, please.
Why are you still carrying all those around?
These are expensive. Pops
They
them
are?
all open.
They are the name brand kind, you know?
Is there worse soda than?
I mean,
Kevin, that's right. You're really rich. Yeah. So there's like name brand, and then there's store brand, and there's off brand. So like there's different layers. There's like Dr. Pepper, Mr. Pibb, and like store brand.
yeah,
Dr.
these
Pepper.
are made with sugarcane, and I can't have high fructose corn syrup or most sweeteners, actually.
Huh.
Monk fruit makes me barf.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, and the fact that I do says a lot. And she just like clinks her soda against yours.
Cheers. Subrina like drinks it and then like gets quiet for a second. Can we talk about how all the guys I date like end up something bad? It's like, am I cursed? First, it was the Golden Duke. What's his name? Henry? Not Henry.
Hector.
Hector. First, it was Hector. Then it was Flint. And like, and with Chloe, it was like you started, and then you found out that you were sick, and now it's this. Am I cursed? Is it me?
I mean, I think we probably just lead strange lives. Yeah. Because I mean, nothing bad happened to Hector. Like cool stuff happened to Hector, and he left.
Yeah, but he's still.
I mean,
left.
yeah, it sucked for you.
Now he's in Korea being a big old star. That's great for him.
I mean, I just
Well,
yeah.
Sabrina, there's so few people here on Earth that actually, wind up with their soulmate. Like, you're gonna have a few, like, faulty takeoffs before you really find the one,
Yeah, but usually it's like you get dumped. I find out that the person I'm on a date with is a supervillain.
It's less messy that way, right? It's a clean break. You don't have to.
It kind of comes with the territory. We just kind of have that kind of job.
Yeah,
Like,
it seems
maybe
like
if we
something
had-
out of a story.
Yeah, like maybe if we had normal lives, then you could deal with a breakup over going to different colleges, but you don't have a normal life. You're an
Yes.
alien and also a superhero. So you kind of have to deal with this kind of stuff. Ironically, by being abnormal, you're having a very normal experience.
Oh. Okay. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I like you. Your life isn't dramatically different than like my own, right? There's a lot of things. My dad disappeared. I turned into a giant bug monster. You know, I also went on a date with a supervillain.
That's true. That's true. I'm sorry.
I mean, supervillain might also be really pushing it here. They've robbed a bank and they've tried to change their grades.
Yeah, I guess that's
they're
true.
a supervillain in the same vein that, like, we've saved the world.
Well, yeah, okay,
There's an
that's
argument
fair.
to be made, but
Okay,
but
yeah,
really.
that's fair. Maybe we can, like, put them on the right path. Like we did with Roz and Chloe.
I mean, Roz kind of did that on her own, though, right? She just, like, wanted to get away from mom and do good stuff. And Chloe, you were just beating up. You're just beating up bad guys. Yeah, it's a little different.
I was just beating up bad guys without permission.
Yeah. There are rules and we can teach them the rules. And I think having a necromancer would be really weird and cool, you know? Like, not like just like the normal weird and cool that we have.
Well, I think gauge interests.
Mm-hmm. I guess we should talk about how we are going to handle it, because we could just turn them into the paladins. Into the knights, you know?
I prefer not to, but, you know, we'll see how it goes.
I mean, I'd rather not do that either. But
Yeah.
it is a trump card that we have.
Yeah.
Like, if we get outed as the squires, then what happens? The paladins just relocate us. If they get outed, then they're kind of out of luck.
Yeah, it's worse for them.
Yeah. But, like, what do we want to get out of this conversation? Are we going to tell them, like, that they have to join us? Or that they just have to stop?
I think it's good enough if they stop robbing banks.
Okay.
Like, stop doing shit that's going to make us come after them. Usually,
Yeah.
like, I don't care if they use their powers to change their grades. Like, that's pretty small potato stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. But, like, that eventually turns into bigger things, don't you think?
It's a gateway crime.
Yeah.
I mean, gateway crimes and slippery slope stuff is, you know, potentially a logical, you know, fallacy that's oftentimes used to justify over policing.
Really?
Things like that.
Wrong. But I also don't want them to get the idea that, like, having powers gives them permission to get away with this kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's got to at least be some accountability.
I mean, so would we care if would we be going out of our way to do something about it if they just used, like, their knowledge of computers to hack into it and change the grades? Or would we just let it slide?
I'm more concerned about the fact that they robbed a bank and took hostages.
Yeah. That part's
hostages
bad.
That's like,
got a lot.
this is like, you're right, small potatoes. This is like a potato farm, okay?
Yeah, we got to make sure that's done for sure. Like,
Mhm.
that's my goal out of it.
Yeah.
Again, if to make sure that that's done, we're like, yeah, change as many grades as you want. I'm pretty okay with that.
Yeah, I'm not doing too great in the American history sort of thing. But anyways, I don't want them to change my grade. But if they did, I don't think I'd be... Anyways, okay. So, do we know when we're meeting?
No, they're gonna get back to us.
Okay. We gotta figure out how to turn our phones back on. New batteries, right?
As part of the, like, triage process, and once, like, you gave the report of, like, oh, we EMP'd things because screenshot was around,
Yeah.
the paladins would have offered to take, like, everyone's devices, and then, like, essentially they'll run scans on them, make sure it's all good, fix
Mhm.
the EMP damage as much as they can, and then get them all back to people. So
Okay.
people have the option of handing the devices over to be fixed, or you know, essentially otherwise they would have had to toss them because
Mhm.
would have been too difficult to repair otherwise, and don't want to risk, you know, that screenshot is able to access those devices.
That's fair.
So, you know, you imagine that for you all, since you are squires that yours will be fairly high up the list, but for now you are still phoneless.
What am I gonna do without my phone? Oh my gosh, I should talk to my parents. We'll talk when I get.
Yeah, Elena can do some calling for us.
Okay.
Do we want to do anything to celebrate stopping Screenshot again, or
Can we do another movie night?
all right?
Make popcorn, get ice cream, hang out at your house for a bit.
Cool with that, Chloe?
Good to me.
Cool. All right. Hey, and yeah, great freaking job, everybody.
Yeah.
That was pretty nuts. I'm honestly surprised we got away with only a few people figuring out who we are. Largely due to us doing things in front of them.
Yeah. I appreciate that, Kevin, you kind of knew what I wanted you to do, even though I didn't say anything. The whole darkness, and then that was pretty cool.
You communicated a lot with your eyes there.
Thanks. And Chloe, you really jumped into action there. Like, it was a good idea going to find Yosef, knowing that he was outside.
Well, we've had better days, but it didn't turn out too bad.
Well, for us being off guard, I think we worked pretty well as a team.
Yeah. Everyone's pulled their weight. Felt like it was pretty equal footing. It was great, honestly. Yeah, it was a good job.
Yeah. I'm
No
glad
notes.
you guys are my friends too. You know, like, I know that some of the squires have like people they're okay with, and then there are people they really like. So I'm glad that we all get along really well and like actually want to hang out outside of school and work and that sort of thing.
Should we see if... No, I was going to say, should we see about inviting Umpteen and some of the other squires that were there to celebrate? But I think movie night is more chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we could get everyone together for a party. That'd be so fun.
Oh
Do a
God,
squire
just have
party?
a squire-based after party.
Everyone comes in costume? Okay, we'll put it on the books.
That might be. We'd have to go somewhere weird if we're all coming in costume, like a secret island or something like that.
Do you have a secret island?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I could try and make one, but it would probably take a really long ass time.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at this stuff yet.
No.
Well, maybe we could just rent out a danger room, and instead of loading danger into it, we load
a party. That's a great idea.
The paladins let us do that.
Yeah, one of the peril parlors.
Yeah.
Make it a party room.
Make it a party parlor.
Yeah.
I mean, that is
God.
probably how they would recommend having, the squires get together for things like that. So it's probably something they've done before.
All right. Let's put it on the communicators. Like, let's do it. Squire, everyone involved with our school's homecoming party. Tomorrow night or whatever. Whenever we want to do it.
Yeah.
Do that.
Squire soiree for Saturday night. Before we get too far away, so y'all can do comfort and support roles. You can also do your team moves if you share a triumphant celebration with someone or share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, up to you. Depending on which one you choose, just go ahead and read it out for the audience. And if yours has something extra, like I've got Subrina's up right now, and it mentions showing them meaningful affection and just clarifying, those little extra bits if you so choose. But
I have one.
Mm-hmm.
And share triumphant celebration. Tell them whether you see them as an equal. If you do, give them influence over you and mark potential, which I explicitly said we were equals. So
mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's see. Um,
So yeah, what's the rule on this? Do I do it twice since I did it
no,
with
so I'm
both?
thinking, yeah, because like not all the team moves are exactly the same. Because like you could milk potential out of this with yours. And so to kind of keep it even.
True, I'm looking at mine. When you share a triumphant celebration with someone, give them influence over you and spend one team from the pool to clear one box on your doom track.
Yeah, so I think I will say you can do a team move with one person, and then you could roll comfort or support someone on the other.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Who needs comfort or support? Anyone?
Yeah. When you are comforted and supported, so someone does comfort and support on you, you can then either mark potential, clear a condition, or shift labels. And then it's on a 10 plus that the person doing the comforting and supporting can either add team or clear a condition.
Ooh.
So comforting and supporting is more for the other person, whereas the team move might be more beneficial to yourself. But this way you can each do one of those essentially. Or like do both, just one
We
team.
choose who we're doing it to who.
Yeah.
All right. Does anyone have any? Oh, yeah. I guess comfort and support, it would make more sense to do for Subrina since she was asking pretty explicitly in my curse. So. And I did try and comfort that, not in a great way, which makes sense for a -2.
You did great.
Yeah.
Maybe you are cursed, but hey, we're all cursed.
I got another 8.
Okay. So on a hit, Subrina, you get to either mark potential, clear a condition, or shift labels.
I'll mark potential. I dig it.
Yeah, and then so
Thank
if
you.
you are doing Kevin, your team move then with Chloe.
Yeah. Yeah, saying
Okay.
you're an equal and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so then Chloe, you get influence over him, which you already do. So you can shift his labels one up, one down.
Potential.
Kevin, my friend. We're at a point where our stuff wants to stay the same. I'm gonna shift your superior down and your savior up.
Okay.
Right. Chloe or Sabrina, who knows what they want to do next?
Chloe will do her team move. Spend a team from the pool and clear a doom track. And I'll give Kevin influence. So you can shift my stats. Because you already have it.
Okay. Let me look. Corbin. Or not Corbin. Chloe.
Not Corbin.
Okay. I am going to do similar. I'm going to shift your superior down, but I think instead I'm going to shift your freak up. Because there's a lot of power usage.
Yep. And then, Chloe, are you also going to attempt to comfort or support Sabrina?
I can attempt. I certainly can.
I mean, maybe you'll be the one who gets potential, but for a miss.
Haha. Comforter support is a
Mundane. Yep.
Nope.
Yeah, that's a
Nope.
big ol' 3.
Yep. That's about as bad as I could do it. I imagine the way that this works is that all night while we're watching the movie, Chloe keeps on thinking about the fact that she was supposed to tell Subrina when she was ready to dance. And she keeps on thinking like, I should just put on some music and we should dance right now. I should do it right now. And she just never does it.
Aw. I have when you share vulnerability or weakness with someone, they tell you what you should do to fit in more, which I think that did happen. Take +1 forward to it. To do it. Mark potential if you do.
Okay. Right. Yeah, we can keep that in mind. You can also generally assume that you're going to do it if you want to mark the potential now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm looking at the calendar like it's...
What?
Well, no, because... Okay, I think next time we play, we're still all good. Okay, yeah. And then you've got, if you would like to roll to comfort or support someone, and then take your pick.
Okay, I will roll to comfort or support... Probably Kevin? Oh, this is gonna be terrible.
Yeah, y'all do not have much in the way of mundane.
All of us are really bad at mundane.
4!
Yeah, well, that's more potential for you.
Yay!
I made my other characters super good at superior and mundane, so I could like try out the other side of the mask's mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I imagine if we were doing a better job of keeping track of like influence and stuff, that would add a whole other layer to the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Right, Simon? Yeah.
He's like, I am comforted and supported by you right now. As you now have him in a sling.
What are you doing? Don't. What are you doing? No, you have to get out of my sleeve. Thank you. Goober.
Yeah. So we have movie night. I mean that's almost a good place to end it for tonight. I think the one thing I will leave you with is as you are like turning on the TV and getting ready to get things set up for movie night, you do find a news report that says you know, the news stories about the attack on the school, obviously, and talking about it. And there's a, you know, breaking bulletin. Villain group Whisper denounces rogue AI. And the anchor is talking about that the leader of Whisper, which is the hacker group that Screenshot has been part of, the leader Technomancer has come out and said, like, no, we do not condone Screenshot attacking a school of children. Like, that is not something we are about. And so it's unclear whether they'll go so far as like helping the paladins apprehend Screenshot in whatever capacity you do with an AI, but it seems clear that this was Screenshot acting on their own. You know, as much as you can trust, you know, villains making press releases, but also they usually don't do that, so.
Roger.
Yeah. Y'all have apparently made a nemesis out of Screenshot.
Some nemesis, am I right?
Waiting until he comes back with like a Faraday cage and his EMP proof.
Ah! Oh, sorry, Simon. He was like, what?
But yeah, I mean, I think that's a good place to end tonight's session. And even though we just did a whole lot of stuff like it, we now have our end of session things to do. So more potential and shifting labels. So at the end of every session, choose one. You either grow closer to the team, explain who made you feel welcome, give influence to that character, and clear a condition or mark potential. You can grow into your own image of yourself. Explain how you see yourself and why. Shift one label up and another down. Or you can grow away from the team. Explain why you feel detached. Take influence over you away from another character.
I think we grew together as a team, and I think, as usual, just in these random circumstances, Sabrina grew closer to, well, I don't know, probably Kevin, just because we schemed subconsciously enough that that would make sense. And yeah, so I will say that when I took my advancement earlier, I locked a label. I locked my freak and added 1 to it.
All right, so you will forever be a freak +3.
Yeah, I'm so freaky. Simon, I'm so sorry. I'm loud when I play games. Do we want to do stars and wishes too? Or after?
Yeah, I think probably after. So we'll do the end of session stuff and then come back to those.
All right. I'm gonna. Oh my goodness. This is hard. I'm gonna move your mundane down and your savior up.
You are?
Yep.
All right, let's go.
Subrina is very min-maxed for the folks at home right now. All right, Chloe or Kevin, who's next?
Three is the max for any given stat, right?
Correct.
Okay, just checking.
And -2 is the lowest.
Yeah, I'm also gonna grow closer to the team. And yeah, I think also probably I'm gonna go with Subrina as there's a lot of stuff being on the same wavelength between like the stage stuff and then also getting Anna away for her to, impersonate and all that kind of stuff.
So excited. I haven't got to do that yet. Not really. Okay, then I will I am going to move up your mundane, and I'm going to move down your savior. Even you out a little bit, make it easier, because we're going to have to talk to people next time. And apparently Sabrina's not going to do the talking, so...
Okay. Well, I'm going to grow into my own image of myself because Chloe really stepped out on her own and did things independently today. And she didn't necessarily grow away from the team, so I think that's the the de facto option there.
Fair.
I'm going to increase my superior because that feels appropriate, and I'm going to decrease. I don't want to decrease anything. That's fine. It's fine. I'm going to decrease mundane. Just make it as bad as it can be. I can't go any lower. I can only go as low as 2. I can only go as low as 2. I'm going to decrease my savior. I'll call it that.
All right. Well, then that will bring us around to stars and wishes.
My star is for group coordination and how well the team works together, just in general. I love that we all kind of had the same idea of like, step 1, sorry Simon, step 1, cover the vents, step 2, open the doors, and like we all went around that as well as possible, and the fact that we cover each other's back and like Kevin feels comfortable enough to let Sabrina pretend to be him for a little bit, and She just has to give him a look and like, hey, just get out of here for a little bit. And then my wish, I'm really excited about this meeting, so I'm excited to see how it goes. And my wish is, and I know I've said this before, I really want to turn into a dog and talk to, but we don't need to because he's telepathic. But I want Sabrina to turn into a dog and talk to the professor.
Well, you may be able to.
Yeah.
Thank you. Who's next?
I mean, I'm not going next, but like the fact that it seems that they know Chloe's identity and they know Kevin's identity, but they don't know Corvid's identity. Like, you could just be the dog in the room. We could just have a dog.
That's true. I thought about that. Well, and I love that because Corvid is like almost 6 foot and Sabrina's 5'6". So like it's not like a 1-to-1, and nobody really knows she's a shapeshifter. So who is she?
Exactly. Who is she?
She was a
Oh my
dog
God.
the whole time.
She's been a dog.
I'll say my star is just this entire scenario is very creative and very cool. Like, it's very like superhero comics to have like somebody attack during homecoming and take over the kids and make them start trying to attack all of the disguised superheroes. Like, and then like simultaneously there's like kids who are doing villain stuff. Like, it very like interesting and fun space to play in. That's my star. As for my wish, what's my wish? What do I wish for this? My wish is party parlor. Yeah. So like all of the heroes get together and we have a party. And that doesn't need to like take up an entire episode or anything. Just like it needs to happen. It needs to be a part of something.
Sure, I think we can make that happen. Thank you. David, you ready?
Yeah. My star is gonna go to an EMP, just because that was great. It's great to see. It's great to be a part of. And wish. Yeah. Yeah, my wish is just to really see where this whole thing with the other group leads to an extent. Like, I don't even necessarily need it to be like concluded as much as like it's, you know, it's comic book world, like you know, see where this is gonna go. Like, because these are now people who know us. Like, these are relationships for a long time. If this was a comic book, someone knowing your identity, like they're a character in your comic book now. Yep. So yeah, just to kind of see where that goes. I'm very interested.
Yeah. I am as well. I think my star is going to go to y'all for putting a stop to the nanobots so quickly. Could have done a whole lot of things with them, but you shut them down real fast, which was probably good. And then my wish. I mean, one part is going to be seeing how y'all interact with the skeleton crew in full, because y'all heard a new name tonight that you haven't heard before. And so seeing what's up with that person. And then, I mean, like I've said, like this was the second to last thing. After this, it's basically going to be the CERN arc, and then we will be done. So seeing how y'all get ready to wrap things up as you as players know that it is coming to a conclusion, and seeing narrative threads start to wind down. Yeah, but that's gonna do it for us tonight, and we're just about on time. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Let's see. we should be back in 2 weeks with this group. Though, other than that, Tuesdays may be a little wibbly wobbly for the next month or so. So, make sure that you are in our Discord so that you know when we are doing things on Tuesdays. Additionally, this Thursday is going to be quiet, no Elegance and Vigilance. So it's a night off. Catch up on our YouTube or, just take the night to yourself. Treat yourself. But yeah, I think that's going to be it. Anything y'all want to plug or promote? All right, then until next time, good games and good night, Internet.